Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, Inside My Holes, named after my poetry book by the same name, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own struggles having borderline personality disorder. I talk about my struggles having post-traumatic stress disorder, panic attacks, anxiety, depression, about my narcissistic mother who brutally beat me, my schizophrenic father who has abandoned me, um, and my unethical psychologist who sexually exploited and raped me. I talk about all the different therapies I've been in and a plethora of other mental health related topics. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional opinion. All I ask in return of you is your kindness and respect in the comments. Please be kind to me and be kind to other people who comment. We don't need to agree on everything, but each person's individual opinion matters to me, as long as we show respect and kindness always. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button there on the lower right hand corner, that box that says subscribe. It's 100% free, and that way you'll be notified of future videos. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. Now, today's video is, why do I hold on to anger? I don't know if anyone knows this quote, but this quote about anger is like, really nails it. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Now, what does that mean? It means that if we're drinking poison, we're killing ourselves, right? But that's what we're doing when we hold on to anger. But we're expecting the other person to die. We're expecting the other person to get hurt. But holding on to anger only hurts ourselves. It doesn't hurt the other person at all. They're not affected by it at all. But we're tearing ourselves apart. I tear myself apart. Now, why do I hold on to anger? And the simple reason that I can give, my own reason for doing so, is because I haven't gotten over the hurt. Now, if you watch my other videos, you'll know that the past few years have been just dreadful, 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 dreadful on me. My handicapped son, who has traumatic brain injury, my Alex, who, that's right here in this picture. There he is. There's me and Alex in the picture. I mean, I love him so much. I'm crazy about him. Okay? Well, whatever. He got brutally beaten and had to be hospitalized by a staff person who was taking care of him. He's an invalid. He got meningitis and encephalitis, which eats away at your brain. When he was 4 years old, he was in the hospital for 2 years. So he's an invalid. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. He can't bathe himself, and he's 6'2", 180 pounds. He's huge. So he needs constant care that we can't provide him at home. So he's in these places, and they have trained staff to take care of him, and he was brutally tormented, tortured, and beaten. And then not only that, they kicked him out of the residence because they wanted to whitewash the whole thing. I got a lawyer, and I pursued that. It's still in the court system. But I was extremely rageful. I mean, I almost killed myself by drinking a bottle of vodka that night that I found out that this happened. At the same time, I lost my best friend who didn't want to make any time in the world for me. Every time I made a plan, she called and canceled at the last moment, every single time. My son was 5 minutes from her house, lived on the same street she lived on, like a 5-minute walk. And I told her I visit my son several times a week, and not once, she bought a new home, not once did I see it. My psychologist raped me. The other one, I've had several sexually exploited me. It's all in videos, you can watch it. But in other words, I had a lot of reason to be extremely, extremely upset. I had a lot of deep-seated hurt inside of me. Painful, painful. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. All I did was drink vodka. I could not function. I mean, I had severe panic attacks. So why do I hold on to that rage? Because I'm not over the hurt of what happened to me. And this all happened in a matter of a few years. And another reason why I couldn't, let go of the rage is I couldn't process the hurt. Now, why couldn't I process the hurt? Well, normally someone who has that kind of hurt would be in therapy. But I will never, ever go back to therapy ever again in my life because I've been raped. Watch the other videos. I've been tormented. I've been sexually exploded. I'm getting really upset here. When I get upset, it's hard for me to, concentrate and even talk, really. Exploited. I had to calm myself down, The best thing to do sometimes to calm down when you're really upset is just stop, take a breath, breathe in, deep in your gut, and exhale. And then stop and think, okay, what you wanted to say. So because I was so severely abused by many therapists, I stopped going to therapy 3 years ago. And so I never processed what happened to me. At the time I had Dr. Richard Geis, who I called and I told him what was going on, and he completely ignored me. Then when I brought it up in the next session, this was 3 years ago, he just yelled at me and, bit off my head and wouldn't even look me in the face. He turned his whole body away from me. It's like I'm sitting here talking to you, right? And I turn my whole body away and I get angry and I say, why should I bother with you? I'm busy. That's how he acted with me when I was in a crisis. Me and my husband were on opposite sides. I wanted to bring my son home to live. Alex had no place to go. They locked him up in a basement because the other place kicked him out because they wanted to whitewash what happened, because one of their staff members beat him up there, and they were afraid where his parents would start talking to the other parents, and then if those parents found out, they'd pull, and I can't say the name of the place, they would pull their children out, and then word of mouth would get around, and the place, you understand what I'm trying to say. If enough bad word gets around about someone or some place, people stop going. Then there's no money, right? So how do you stop that from happening? Just get rid of anyone associated with the incident, which was the staff member, my son, unfortunately, who had nothing to do. It wasn't his fault he was beaten up. But see, I have no one to process this with. Not only will I never go back to therapists because I've been badly raped, and, they played mind games with me. Look, just watch all the other videos, I can't go into all that, But what I'm trying to say is this video is why I, can't let go of my anger. because I'm still severely hurt. Why am I still severely hurt? Because I have not processed my hurt. Why haven't I processed my hurt? Because I will never trust another therapist again. I don't trust, I don't have any friends. Who am I going to tell all this to, right? Who is going to listen to me? So one of the ways that I have tried to process my anger, my hurt, is through my writing and videos. Those two things, okay? Through my poetry that has been published in magazines, through all my books on Amazon. In all my books on Amazon, I write out exactly what happened to me in detail. When I do these videos, I'm talking to you and I'm expressing my feelings out loud. And it does, even though I'm alone in this room, even though I'm alone in this room, I'm still speaking out loud. I'm still processing my feelings out loud to you. And then you get to watch it. And then, you get to comment if you want to comment. I mean, a lot of people have commented. But I feel like at least I'm sharing part of my story with people. And that's very important part to me. That's the whole reason I decided to do a mental health channel, is because I want to really get my story out there. And doing it this way is a way of processing that hurt that I'm still, what happens when you repress your anger, okay, is that, like I've known, I had severe stomach pains. I have severe GERD, acid in your esophagus, headaches, insomnia. It comes out bodily. Because like I said in my other videos, I strongly believe that the mind and the body are entwined. So if something is going on with you mentally, it will affect you physically. And the other way around too. If something is happening to you physically, it will affect you mentally. So it's a way for me to process, but it's been it's been many, many years, over 6 years between everything that's happened. And I really feel isolated, and I really feel I haven't expressed it enough. And, I really feel alone in it. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel alone in my pain, which makes me enraged. I do have outlets. I love nature. Nature is a great way, besides the alcohol that I drink every night, which is a bad way to cope. But I do admit alcohol soothes the anger. It calms me down. That's why I love alcohol, because, it calms that rage, that inferno in me down. And it also makes me very sleepy, and I fall right asleep. That helps too. I'm not encouraging alcohol here. I'm just saying that it's been a way that I have coped over all the trauma that I've been through. I went to therapy to get help from my childhood trauma. If you know, I was severely beaten, tortured. Go look at those videos. So I went to therapy for help, and instead of helping me, the therapist abused me. They had sex with me. They told me all their problems, and I became their therapist because I'm an empath. I became their therapist. So I never got the help from my childhood through therapy, and then therapy became another problem on top of my childhood trauma. It became another trauma in my adulthood. So then I have childhood trauma. I have therapy trauma. So I never got to process any of it. So I'm just a one-woman show here. I'm all alone in life. I mean, I do have a wonderful husband, thank God. But my husband, what does he do? He represses, he represses his anger. And he has very severe stomach pain. He has a lot of other problems I don't want to go into because he represses his anger. Like I said, when you suppress that anger, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person, you know, to get hurt when you're really hurting yourself. But it's a long, long process. It took me a long time to forgive my cousin. When my parents died back to back within 3 months, when I was 38 years old, my cousin came in and stole my inheritance. I got a lawyer, and I went after my cousin and I got my money back. But it took me, oh God, over 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. It took me 10 years to let go of the anger and rage and forgive him. 10 years. 10. It took me 10 years. So I'm not at 10 years. I'm not at the 10-year mark. No one can tell you how long it's going to take you, But after 10 years, I did forgive him, and I did finally release the anger from what he did. Just him. I haven't released the anger about what's happening with my son. In October, my husband's going to have to go to court, and I think they're going to make a plea bargain, and that guy's not going to see any jail time. He'll probably just, he's just going to walk, I don't know. It's just disgusting, I don't know how I can get over it. My psychologist, a year and a half, and is still investigating. He's still collecting $300 an hour and nothing. So, and nowhere to process that. But I have ways of trying to cope, at least some part of it, to calm down from it by going into nature. I put a bird feeder and a bird bath in my yard. So I don't even have to leave my house, just enjoy nature. Because, everyone loves that bird seed, okay? Those squirrels, those chipmunks, the bunny rabbits. So it's nice just to see different. I see woodpeckers and I see cardinals and doves come in my yard. And just sitting on my deck with my wine, and kicking back and watching, the little chipmunks like that relaxes me, and that calms me down and, kind of like soothes the anger deep inside of me. Taking walks out in the woods, by water, by the river, by the Charles River. I love doing that too. Being by the water, in the woods, alone, it's just soothing. There's no drama from people. I stay away from people. I self-isolate, except for my husband and children. I completely stay away from people because people have only hurt me, and they bring so much, they have damaged me so badly that I stay away from people altogether. And what I love is just, being one with nature, like Thoreau, out in the woods on Walden Pond. And that's a way that that calms the anger, like, puts a blanket over the fire, over the rage. I know the alcohol is drinking the poison. I know that. I know by drinking, a lot of alcohol is, drinking poison is hurting myself when I'm angry and rageful at what other people have done to me and done to my son. The injustice of it all in this world. It's really hard for me to cope with. But I get up every day and I put my best face forward on. And, I do these videos every single day, no matter how I feel, no matter how, stomach aches I have, or headaches, or the fact I didn't sleep all night, or whatever, pain and hurt I feel, I still come on and, put my best face forward and do the videos. I do them for me. I do them for you, so I can share with you, so you won't feel so alone in your struggles too. So if you have anything to add to how you deal with your rage, please. I could learn a lot from you guys. Please let me know in the comments how you deal with it. It's helpful if we have this ongoing dialogue. It helps both of us relate and not feel so alone. Okay, till next time, take care.